Who is the best boss you ever had? Take a moment and picture that person, their face, their voice, and how you felt around them. Now notice what just happened to your body. For many people, it's a smile, a warmth, a shift in posture. Now, that reaction matters because we live in a verified world, a world that has trained us to believe, prove it first, then you'll be worthy of attention. And yet, when you thought of your best boss right now, your body reacted before your brain could list the credentials, which tells us something important. That long before algorithms decided who mattered, someone helped you believe in yourself. I've been a coach for 23 years. I've coached at Fortune 500 companies, leading healthcare organizations, and in the United Nations. I've sat in thousands of behind closed doors conversations, the ones where leaders stop performing and tell the truth. And time again, across all industries and levels, I would hear the same thing. I had this one boss that changed everything for me. Now, at first, I dismissed it as nostalgia, but it happened too often and with much too emotion to ignore. So then I began asking everyone to tell me about a boss who most positively impacted them. And what happened next was extraordinary. They lit up, they smiled, and they could talk for hours. And time again, they would state, they were the best boss I ever had. So my research partner, Dr. Aaron Banowski, and I decided to take a closer look at this phenomenon. We trademarked the term the best boss effect to describe these leaders. We co-authored a book by the same name by interviewing and surveying over 1,000 people across all industries, roles, and organization levels. And they said things like, she helped me see what I was capable of. He challenged me to do things I didn't think I could do. She believed in me before I believed in myself. And the results demonstrated a consistent pattern in the way that they led. The bosses they described achieved exceptional results by making their people's growth, well-being, and potential the means by which they led, and not the reward at the end. And here's what best bosses do differently. For them, people weren't resources to leverage. People were the point. Every decision, every conversation, every priority got filtered through one lens. How does this help my people become better? And best bosses, they just didn't see potential in people. They help people discover the potential within themselves. Because the real risk isn't that we want approval. It's that we outsource our self-trust. We wait for others to say that we're ready. We look outward for permission to tell that we're worthy of attention. And traditional bosses, they reinforce this dependency without even intending to. They build systems that say, prove it first, then we'll believe in you. But best bosses lead differently. Now, they still care about outcomes deeply. They just take a different path to get there. They build something inside of people that no performance review can give, an internal compass. And I can trace that idea back to a moment with one of my former bosses, Jessica Price Jones. I remember the conversation vividly. I have been a leader since my early 20s, and despite having years of experience, I still wrestled with imposter syndrome. And it gnawed away at my confidence, and it chipped away at my self-belief. And then one day, while watching me hesitate yet again, Jessica looked at me and said, Diane, I could only imagine what you could accomplish if you trusted yourself. You know much more than you think you do. Now, the words stopped me cold. Jessica saw something in me I couldn't yet see from myself. And her belief wasn't wrapped up in words of false praise, but in a clear-eyed conviction. And in that moment, I knew that my self-doubt was not a permanent condition. It was a barrier that she believed that I could overcome. You see, Jessica Price Jones was my best boss. She understood that people often carry blind spots to their own potential, and she made it her mission to name what she saw, to say it out loud, and challenge me to grow into it. Now, that one sentence, "You know much more than you think you do," it still echoes in my leadership coaching today. It's the essence of what best bosses do. They see the leader in us before we're able to see it ourselves. And here's why that moment mattered. Jessica didn't make me dependent on her approval. And she didn't become the source of my self-confidence. She pointed it back to myself. She encouraged me to trust my own judgment, and that's where self-verification is built. Now, here's the hopeful part. This is learnable. Many people, when they hear the term best boss, they assume it's personality. Somebody naturally inspiring, naturally empathetic, or naturally gifted. But our surveys and interviews, they didn't support that point. Best bosses, well, they weren't perfect. People could name their flaws pretty quickly. They weren't some sort of mythical leader. What made them different wasn't who they were. It was how they led. Because best boss leadership is a practice. It's a way of working. It's a set of choices, especially in the moments where leaders default to pressure, control, or evaluation. And here's an important point. Any leader can become a best boss. Not overnight, not effortlessly, but deliberately. And what does leading differently look like? Across our data, best bosses consistently do those things that build internal compasses versus dependence on external approval. They ask different questions. Not, did you hit that goal, but what did you learn? Not, was that good enough, but where did you grow? They create space for ownership so people aren't waiting to be told they're ready. They're becoming ready through experience, reflection, and trust, and then something remarkable happens. People stop waiting for permission. They stop looking for external signals to say that they're worthy. They trust their own judgment. And the irony is, they don't perform worse. They perform better. They innovate more. They stay longer. They exceed expectation. And those best bosses, they often outperform their peers who lead through pressure. Not because they don't care about the matrix, but because they refuse to treat people like they're the cost of achievement. They treat people like they're the source of it. Now here's the question. Will you become the person who helps others see what's already inside of them? That best boss you thought of at the beginning, they didn't give you worth. They recognized what was already inside of you and helped you pull it out. And in doing so, they taught you the most important lesson. You already have everything you needed. And here's what matters. You can lead like this today. If you already lead people, you have a choice with every conversation. When things go wrong, are you going to say, what happened? Or where did you grow? Will you wait till somebody is ready? Or will you believe in their capabilities before they even feel it? Now, if you're not a leader yet, if you're a student or early in your career, you can be a best boss right now. Notice the potential in your coworkers or classmates. Believe in your friends out loud. Be the person who says, I see something in you. Leadership is not a title. It's a practice. But practice it on yourself first. Stop waiting for a promotion to think that you're ready. Stop waiting for others to tell you that you're worthy. Everything you need is already inside of you. Your best boss knew it. Now you need to know it too. See yourself clearly. Trust what's there. And help others do the same. And that's how you become a best boss.